Did you get a chance? Our good friend John Muse recommended a podcast to us, connecting the Black Dahlia killer with the Zodiac killer. Seems like we have a suspect now that might have done both, committed both crimes. It's called Killing the Code. It's on YouTube. Have you had a chance to look at this yet?
I haven't, because I've been listening to my Powers of Darkness podcast, and some dickhead started sending me Y-Files videos, so I've been watching those as well.
Oh,
So
you're into the Wi-Fi's. Which ones have you seen?
I saw the Lincoln one that you sent me, and
Was it great?
we had this conversation 2 days ago, so I've only watched a couple. I watched the
Yeah.
Y-Files, and I've been watching. I've been listening to my Powers of Darkness podcast. So I
Okay.
got into that, but I want to do this. I wanted to talk about this and have time to prepare. And
Okay,
study.
we'll
should do it on
table the
Patreon.
discussion.
Let's do this in the Patreon, because I think we can get into it on the Patreon.
Yeah.
But our good buddy John Muse, who always steers us in the direction of either good wrestling matches or ridiculous ass conspiracy theories that we both eat up, sent us a podcast that suspected that theorizes that the Zodiac killer and the Black Dahlia killer are the same person.
Yeah. I'm 2 episodes in. There's only
What do
2
you think?
episodes out. So it's a really good podcast. It's a documentary podcast series. It reminds me a lot of the Rob Reiner JFK one that happened. And you were talking about something like getting into stuff like that. So I sent you the Y-Files.
Mhm.
This is different than the Y-Files. The Y-Files is just like one guy talking and going to clips and stuff like that and using
Shit
some
ton of AI.
Yeah, AI videos and stuff. But what did you think of the Lincoln one? I loved that one.
I there's so much. It's hard to get past the shitty AI stuff, because
Yeah.
some of it is so over the top. But I love the history. I don't know about the talking goldfish. I'm like, you mentioned it. You mentioned. I was like, what the fuck's he talking about? And then I'm
Dude,
watching the show. I'm like, this guy's literally talking to his goldfish. Like,
Hecklefish threw me off at first when I started watching it a couple years ago. So our friend over in Fight Game Media, Preet, Dr. Preet, he's the one that recommended that I watch it. And I watched the first one. I was like, oh man, this guy's talking to a dumbass fish. But some of the topics were very interesting. And then I just kept watching it. And then I went back to his early videos, and like he didn't know what he was doing yet. And I started watching all those. I've seen every video that he's done. The guy's got millions of views for every episode. And
him on that.
yeah, he gets into like aliens and UFOs and all kinds of stuff, man. The guy, and he's a super smart guy. And I like the way he tells the stories, and I like how at the end of it he debunks everything, which pisses me off sometimes because I want these stories to be true. Because as he's telling the story, he tells it as if it's true.
Mm-hmm.
He actually respects the story, and I love that about him. It's very Art Bell like, right? He's telling the story from a person that believes it. And then by the end of it, he ends up debunking everything, right? So
He's got a lot of pro wrestler in him, like, right? But he
so.
also he reminds me of that magician guy that was revealing all the secrets like 25 years ago on TV. He would go on the mask, he would reveal how the tricks were done. A little bit of that, like it's like, okay, it's like, or a little Penn and Teller's. You ever watch Penn and Teller's bullshit? You seem like you might have liked that show.
Yeah.
It reminds me a little bit about that. What's the Zodiac? What's the Zodiac called?
Killing the code. So the premise of the podcast, I think JD and I, so we should probably table it for a little bit longer because more episodes are going to come out.
Let's put a pin in. Let's put a pin in this, and let's actually like discuss. Like when the show is like done, let's actually like dig into it on the Patreon. I think that's something that we could really like, because that's something you and I like when we get our chance to talk about this kind of shit. We really can dig in. But whenever we do it on this show, our fucking numbers just fucking plummet.
Well, we're at the end of the show now, and I won't clip it for YouTube. I clipped the Watergate thing. It got 44 views. It's one of our worst videos ever, and it was my favorite discussion we ever had.
I know, me too. Like, people want to hear us fucking shit on WWE, which is fun, but I mean, it's sometimes just fun to talk with my friend about other shit too.
Yeah. So the Zodiac one is called Killing the Code. And I just say the premise is that this autistic investigator, he has like a cold case company, and the guy's got autism. It's a part of the story. And he hires some code breakers, and he actually uses some AI software to break the code of the Zodiac codes to find out who the killer was. And then while he's doing that, he realizes that the Black Dahlia had similar letters with similar codes, and they ran that code through the software, and they came up with the same person. So the codes led them to the same person. And now they're investigating that person and kind of going into that guy's history. And in episode 2, they find a smoking gun that ties them to the Black Dahlia murders. Right. And so now we have to go further. So there's going to be more episodes. They're 30-minute episodes, so it's a really easy listen. And I'm super into it. And I've had to go back and listen to it a couple times because I want more of the details. That way, when we do talk about it, I can speak intelligently on it.
I really love these documentary podcast things. I'm currently listening to one about a book called Powers of Darkness. I'm a huge vampire fan, like Dracula. I love Dracula. Yeah. And in 2017, they discovered an Icelandic translation of Dracula that just goes off the fucking rails. Like it really becomes its own story. Like it's totally different. And so they're, while researching this, they're trying to figure out how this happened. It turned out that there's an older one from Sweden that might have been written by Bram Stoker, another guy that, again, just goes off the fucking rails with this. And this is like the story of how this all came together. So I love this shit. I remember I've told you about this. There's a pandemic era podcast that was about how the CIA used the Scorpion's Winds of Change to help end the Cold War. Yeah. And it wound up being kind of bullshit, but maybe not. It was a great little podcast. It was fucking great. I love those type of shows. They're awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. All right, guys. That's going to do it for us this time. Make sure you give us a like, comment, and subscribe. Head over to Patreon. Go to patreon.com/The Mike and JD Show. Lots of content coming your way. And until next time, mahalo.
Competition starting to get thick, it's the click, so I hope you watch your A game. Ain't made no rain from the track when we unite and spit. This is an A game, better bring your A game. Competition starting to get thick, it's the click, so I hope you watch your A game. Ain't made no rain.
Do the last comment.